Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni announced that starting quarterback Jalen Hurts is expected to return to practice on Wednesday. Hurts has not played or practiced since entering the NFL's concussion protocol during a Week 16 loss to the Washington Commanders. In his absence, the Eagles saw backup Kenny Pickett start in Week 17, followed by Tanner McKee in Week 18, both of whom contributed to a 2-0 record. Hurts' return to practice enhances the possibility of him starting in the upcoming wildcard round against the Green Bay Packers. Additionally, the Eagles waived fourth-string quarterback Ian Book on Tuesday, indicating a reduced need for quarterback depth as they approach the postseason. Over the 2024 season, Hurts has amassed 2,903 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, along with 630 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns. Sirianni did not specify if Hurts would practice with any limitations, which would be typical for players coming back from concussion protocol. Nonetheless, Hurts taking this next step is a significant development for the Eagles as they prepare to host the Packers in the playoffs. The Eagles are currently practicing in full pads at Lincoln Financial Field. Sirianni expressed no concern regarding any potential rust from Hurts, who was inactive for the team's final 2 games against the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants. Hurts' return is pivotal, as he is integral to a run-oriented offense that ranks 7th in the NFL for EPA per play, according to True Media. The Philadelphia Eagles aimed for the number 1 seed in the NFC, but those aspirations diminished without a healthy Jalen Hurts. Hurts sustained the concussion during the Week 16 loss to Washington and has not returned to action since. Backup quarterback Kenny Pickett completed the game in Week 16 and started against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 17, while Tanner McKee finished the Eagles' regular season against the Giants in Week 18. As the Eagles prepare to play in the wild card round on Sunday, a prolonged absence for Hurts into the postseason could result in a repeat of a short playoff run. On Wednesday, head coach Nick Sirianni provided an update confirming Hurts' return to practice, marking his first participation since the concussion in Week 16. Following their clinching of the number 2 seed, the Eagles rested their starters in Week 18, where they utilized third-string quarterback Tanner McKee and secured a 20-13 victory over the New York Giants. The Philadelphia Eagles will commence the NFL playoffs at home on Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. Sunday's wild-card game will serve as a rematch from Week 1, where the Eagles defeated the Packers, 34-29 in Brazil. Philadelphia's standout running back, Saquon Barkley, contributed 3 total touchdowns in that matchup. However, both teams have evolved significantly since their September encounter, making this one of the more compelling matchups for Wild Card Weekend. The Eagles are scheduled to resume practice on Wednesday afternoon, which is significant for fans awaiting updates on star quarterback Jalen Hurts. Hurts has been sidelined for the past 2 games due to a concussion sustained in Week 15 against the Washington Commanders. Following the announcement of the practice change, fans quickly inquired about the team's recent installation of new grass/turf. Nonetheless, the primary focus remains on Hurts' status for Sunday. As noted by Berman on Twitter, if Hurts participates in practice today, it is a positive indication of his availability for Sunday's game. Additionally, the Eagles waived Ian Book on Tuesday, which further suggests Hurts may be returning. Heading into Sunday's playoff matchup, the Eagles are now favored by 4.5 points at home against the Packers on FanDuel Sportsbook, having opened as 3.5-point favorites. The Philadelphia Eagles are back in the NFL playoffs, and their journey towards Super Bowl 59 begins with Sunday's wild card clash against the Green Bay Packers. Like all playoff-bound teams, the Eagles face several questions this postseason, the most significant being who will serve as the team's number 2 quarterback against the Packers. Given that QB1 Jalen Hurts is not at full capacity, head coach Nick Sirianni must make an informed decision regarding the backup for this weekend. Both backup QBs Tanner McKee and Kenny Pickett have seen playing time this season, and when asked about the backup for Hurts on Sunday, Sirianni opted for a non-specific response. "We have a lot of confidence in both of the guys," Sirianni stated to reporters on Monday, as per Eagles insider Zach Berman. "When Kenny's had to play, he's played really well. When Tanner's had to play, he's played really well. We just have a great room." His equal praise for both backup quarterbacks may serve to avoid hurting either player's feelings or could be a strategy to prevent providing the Packers with a competitive advantage in the event Hurts cannot play. Regardless of Sirianni's reasoning, it is evident that selecting McKee over Pickett as the QB2 is the appropriate choice. Pickett, acquired from the Pittsburgh Steelers in March, has struggled in his role following Hurts' injury against the Washington Commanders in Week 16. In his 106 offensive snaps since that time, Pickett has completed 24 of 39 passes, 61.5%, for 286 yards, recording 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. In contrast, McKee has demonstrated significantly more potential since Hurts' injury. The former Stanford quarterback has achieved 30 completions out of 45 attempts, 66.7%, since Week 17, accumulating 323 passing yards with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. While he may lack Pickett's draft pedigree, McKee currently serves as the more dependable backup option. Further clarity regarding Philadelphia's backup quarterback situation is expected as the week progresses, with the Eagles not scheduled to practice until Wednesday, providing Sirianni ample time to address the matter. As it stands, the Eagles will enter the wild card round as 4.5-point home favorites against the Packers, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. There was considerable discussion surrounding the coaching staff ahead of the season. Following a disappointing conclusion to the 2023 season, the Eagles opted to part ways with offensive coordinator Brian Johnson and defensive coordinator Sean Desai last January. Head coach Nick Sirianni retained his position but had to hire 2 new coordinators. Philadelphia appointed Vic Fangio for the defense and Kellen Moore for the offense. Under Moore's leadership, the Eagles rank 8th in total offense, 367.2 yards, 2nd in rushing offense, 179.3 yards, and 7th in scoring offense, 27.2 points. The team has surpassed 30 points in 5 games this season. The Eagles have showcased their ability to effectively challenge defenses in various ways, optimizing their offensive potential, largely due to Moore's influence, which has attracted attention from the Saints management. New Orleans terminated Dennis Allen on November 4 and appointed special teams coordinator Darren Reitze as interim coach for the subsequent 8 games, during which the team recorded a 3-5 record. They plan to take the next few weeks to assess the coaching market. Moore began his professional coaching career in 2018 with the Dallas Cowboys as the quarterback's coach and subsequently served as offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2022. He then took on the role of offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers in 2023 before joining the Philadelphia Eagles. The 36-year-old is recognized for his astute offensive strategies. Over recent years, he has enhanced his credentials, and the Eagles' offensive success has garnered increased attention on him. There will be numerous interviews forthcoming. However, Philadelphia may face the necessity of replacing their offensive coordinator if Moore departs. The Philadelphia Eagles currently hold a 13-3 record and are poised for a home playoff game during the wildcard weekend. Their dominance this season stands in stark contrast to the previous season's conclusion, where they finished with a 1-5 record and were eliminated in the wildcard round. Nonetheless, there are concerns within the NFL regarding head coach Nick Sirianni's job security should the Eagles face another early exit in the wildcard round. An article published Thursday by ESPN's Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler highlighted this possibility. Fowler stated, Nick Sirianni has quieted the preseason noise with the Eagles' 13-3 season. Would a first-round playoff exit reignite talks about his job status? It's hard to say, but it's a question some people around the league are wondering. As the 2024 season approaches, questioning Sirianni's job security appears reasonable. Despite a regular season record of 34-17 and a playoff performance of 2-3, including a Super Bowl appearance, the Eagles' significant collapse last season warranted such inquiries. During that collapse, it appeared that Sirianni had lost player support and his rapport with Jalen Hurts. However, this year, Hurts and Sirianni seem to have reconciled, despite early season challenges. Despite this progress, Sirianni was observed engaging in verbal disputes with fans during games this season. Although this was initially detrimental to his image, the team's successful performance has alleviated that negativity. Additionally, a minor discord appeared to develop late in the season between A.J. Brown and Hurts, raising concerns about the team's potential downfall. Fortunately, this issue seems to have been resolved, likely with Sirianni's intervention. It is surprising that individuals within the NFL are questioning Sirianni's job security after achieving at least a 13-win season. While a first-round exit would indeed be disappointing, it appears unlikely given the team's excellent performance. If Sirianni is ultimately dismissed, it would certainly come as a shock to most NFL fans. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts is set to return to practice Wednesday for the first time since sustaining a concussion in Week 16. This significant development for the Eagles should facilitate his participation in their NFC wildcard playoff game at home against the Green Bay Packers this weekend. The Eagles had not made any statements regarding Hurts' health since he sustained a concussion and exited the December 22 game against Washington. He missed the last 2 games, during which backup quarterbacks Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee led the Eagles to victory. Coach Nick Sirianni had only indicated that Hurts remained in the NFL concussion protocol. On Wednesday, Sirianni announced that Hurts was scheduled to participate in practice later that day at Lincoln Financial Field. He did not specify any limitations on Hurts' participation in the practice session. In the season opener in Brazil, Hurts completed 20 of 34 passes for 278 yards, with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, leading the Eagles to a 34-29 victory over the Packers. Hurts played late in the season with a fractured finger on his non-throwing hand, accumulating 2,903 passing yards this season, with 18 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Notably, he recorded only 1 interception after the NFC East champion Eagles returned from their Week 5 bye. The Packers had concerns regarding their quarterback's health, but coach Matt LaFleur expressed confidence that Jordan Love would have no lingering injury issues, despite Love being unable to finish the team's Week 18 loss to the Chicago Bears due to an elbow injury. The Philadelphia Eagles will face challenging decisions this offseason regarding free agency. The Eagles' front office has consistently demonstrated the ability to construct a winning roster. Having been among the top teams in football in recent years, they now have the opportunity to pursue a deep playoff run. Regardless of whether the Eagles secure the Vince Lombardi Trophy or are eliminated by the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round, they will need to make critical decisions in free agency. A player to monitor in this process is breakout defensive tackle Milton Williams. Williams will enter free agency as his 4-year, $5 million rookie contract concludes at the end of the season. Philadelphia is likely to aim to retain him after he recorded 5 sacks during the regular season. However, competition for his services is anticipated. Bleacher Report's scouting department has projected that the Minnesota Vikings might acquire him. Top 2025 free agency target, DL Milton Williams, Philadelphia Eagles, Bleacher Report stated. It seems highly likely that Byron Murphy Jr. and/or Stephon Gilmore will be resigned ahead of free agency. If this assumption holds, adding an interior pass rusher should be Minnesota's top priority in the offseason, as the position group could benefit from reinforcement. Additionally, Jonathan Bullard, Jerry Tillery, and Jihad Ward are impending free agents. Williams should be the club's primary target in the open market. The 25-year-old has recorded 5 sacks, 5 in 4 seasons, and 39 total pressures through Week 17 this season, earning an elite 90.6 pass rush grade from Pro Football Focus, which ranks second at his position.